Today I'm showing you this Lumberjack 200mm Whetstone Sharpener. A slow speed water cooled sharpening system, ideal for keeping chisels, plane irons and blades razor sharp. I'm going to show you how easy this is to use with the tool supports and jig, and how to safely grind and hone your tools. So let's get straight into it. This is a 150 watt water cooled sharpener with a 200mm grindstone on one side and a leather honing wheel on the other. It's a really useful bit of kit for precision sharpening, and it runs at 115 RPM, nice and slow so you don't overheat your edge. You've got two different mounting positions for the tool support, horizontal and vertical. To fit these you just loosen these knobs and then you can slide the tool support into place. Flipping it around for use with the honing wheel and the grinding stone. It also fits on top like that. The grindstone runs in water to keep everything cool and to reduce wear on the stone. Slot the water trough underneath the wheel and then it clips into place. Then fill it up to this cut outline with some clean water. This wheel should run in the water at all times when you're sharpening. And if the stone's dry, it will absorb a lot of the moisture, so you're probably going to have to fill it up a couple of times. For things like chisels or plane irons, you want to use the tool support. You can use this just as a rest for freehand, but it's much better to use this tool clamp. That just slides on, and then you can place your chisel or your knife down and lock this into place. I find it best to square this up if you can with a little engineer square. Then that way you're going to get a nice square sharp edge on your chisel. So then you want to clamp that down, and then you need to find your angle. You want to position this by eye best you can for that correct angle, and then this wheel here will tighten down into place. For an accurate angle, you want to use this angle finder. What you want to do is find whichever angle you're going to use. There's a diagram to obviously help you, and then you pick which side of this you're going to use. So I'm going to use this one, and what you do is you slide it until it makes contact with the chisel, and it should sit exactly flat against the chisel. If it doesn't, you just want to turn this wheel and move the tool support up or down to find your correct angle. With the correct angle found, you can then tighten up the tool support knobs. Before I show you how to do this, quick safety reminder, always wear eye protection and don't force the tool into the stone. Always keep your hands away from any of the spinning wheels. And remember, this stone will keep spinning for a moment after you turn it on. Switch the machine on and then slowly move the clamp and the tool back and forth across the stone for even wear. Keep the pressure nice and light. The stone is going to do all the work for you. You can see I'm barely pushing up on this, I'm just letting it rest and the stone's doing all the work. Make sure you keep your water level topped up when you need to. Once you're happy with the grind, we can move on to honing. For this I'm going to spin the tool round and then loosen the guide. And then I'm going to place it into this position. You can pretty much set this up by eyeballing it now, but if you want to use your guide, you can use the guide in the exact same way as setting the stone up. What you're going to want to do is apply some of this honing compound onto your stone. Mine's already got some on, so I'm only going to add this tiny little bit there. And then you want to work that in by turning it on and just spreading it with your finger, nice and easy like that. Make sure it's spread nice and evenly, you'll be able to see it all across the honing wheel. and then you're ready to hone. You can do this freehand if you're confident, but I find it just as easy, if not easier, just using a guide. You can't go wrong then, can you? Make sure when you're honing that the wheel is always turning away from the edge. So you want it going away rather than towards you, because it can snag in your chisel blades. Honing's done pretty much the same way as the grinding. You just need to turn the machine on, then press the tool gently into the leather honing wheel, and again move it side to side to keep the wear nice and even. Exactly the same as the grindstone, but this is just going to polish up your edge. You should be able to use the honing wheel for maintenance as well. If your chisel isn't too blunt, you shouldn't have to actually use the grinding wheel. You can just quickly hone it up, and then it basically just brings a nice edge back for you. There you go, you can see you're left with a nice sharp edge. And that's how easy it is to get razor sharp tools with this Lumberjack Whetstone Sharpener. If you're new to this sort of sharpening system, or if you've got any questions, feel free to leave them down below in the comments. And if you're interested in picking one of these up, there'll be a link in the description box down below. If you want to see more of my videos, head over to the Renovation Dan channel. If you found this video useful, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you've got any questions, leave them down in the comments below, and make sure you subscribe to the Lumberjack YouTube channel for more helpful tool guides.